Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Grissle. I am back. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, where the hell have you been? There's been so much stuff to come out, and I will get to that over the next couple days. But I just needed to talk about, where I have been for people who aren't following me on Twitter and don't know what's going on. And I wanted to talk about it because I'm sure there's other people out there that are dealing with the same situation, and hopefully my story can kind of help them get strength or whatever. But I don't know, three weeks ago, started really dropping down, and knowing the holidays were coming and the holidays were upon us, really. And I was starting to drop into a kind of a pit of depression because I'm alone again for the holidays. Last year I was too. And on the years before, when I had somebody during the holidays, it just seemed more special. It seemed like, sharing the happiness, with somebody, and just sharing the whole holiday season, with somebody felt good. It had a different feel to it, you know what I'm saying? And it felt good. And even though like the rest of the year with that person ended up would turn out like garbage, the holidays just seem special when you have somebody. And I didn't have anybody last year, and it didn't really bug me last year. I mean, it kind of felt weird, but it was never like one of those issues where I was like, got depressed about it. But this year it did, for some reason. When I started realizing the holidays were here and I was alone and I didn't, really have anybody to share it with. I mean, I got people to share it with, like my family and stuff like that. But, have that other person to share it with, it just started getting to me. And I was like, I was just really, really down on myself. And when I get down on myself, what I do a lot of the times is I bury myself inside a video game, in order to kind of not have to think about the situation. And, a lot of people do other things like, I don't know, the biggest stereotype is like girls will watch depressing movies and eat ice cream, and that's kind of my version of that. I would wake up in the morning during those depressed days, and I would wake up in the morning and I would get on the computer and start playing World of Warcraft, and I would just bury myself in there all day long. I would sit there and play it, and then I throughout that time, my whole everything, I just was just like, I wouldn't do anything besides that, because that was my escape, because I was focused on the game and I would not have to worry about feeling lonely because I was running away from the situation. And, I've been a therapist in my life, and to be honest, I think therapy is somewhat of a scam because, I mean, maybe not for everybody, but for the stuff that I deal with, like the depressions and stuff like that, I've never been super depressed to the point to where I've like thought about killing myself or anything. But I've dealt with a lot of depression in my life, and a lot of people are like, oh, you should go see a therapist, and I have, I have, and to be honest, I've found that all the times I have done that, I found the only thing that helps me is me. The way to get out of that depression is there's just a day. Every time I've gone through a depressive state, there's just a day, and there's nothing that triggers it. It just happens one day. There's just a day you click, and you're like, I can't fucking be like this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I gotta fix this. And that happened to me about a couple days ago. Like, like I said, I had been in my video game. I had let my house fucking turn into a disaster. Like, my mom would have fucking passed out if she just stopped by one day because it was just a fucking wreck. And I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't, nothing but in my game. I was talking to my friends in the game, and that was it. I wasn't talking to them about my depression. I was just talking about the game. And, but it was my escape. But I went to bed, and I've always heard that, like, your surroundings are going to affect what you do. And my house had turned into a wreck. I was listening when I was playing my video games. I was listening to like some real kind of different music that probably wasn't the most positive music, and I was just not feeling it. And I went to bed the other night, and when I was walking in my room, I was just like, dude, you gotta fucking pick yourself up, man. I was like it was literally, it was almost like I was two people. I was like, you gotta fucking pick yourself up. Because it was like, the way to explain it was like, I had fallen down the bottom of this cliff, and the top just looked unreachable for all that time, for all those 3 weeks or whatever it was. That top looked unattainable. I'd try to go up, but I couldn't find a foothold, and I'd always just slip down, and I just quit trying. But I went to bed that other night, and I was just like, dude, you gotta fucking pick yourself up. I might have even said it out loud. I talk to myself a lot. Not crazy, but I just talk to myself, I think, out loud. And I was like, you gotta do this. Tomorrow, you're gonna wake up, you're not gonna get on your game, you're gonna start cleaning this house. Because back when I was younger, I would just live and I throw shit wherever the fuck I wanted. I didn't care, and I may not be clean to my mom's standards, because my mom's house is like a museum, but I like keeping a tidy place, to where I can have people over and it don't look like Jesus Christ and they're stepping over shit everywhere they go. So I was like, Nate, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna start cleaning right off the fucking get-go. And you're not going to give yourself time to sit down and get on the computer. So, did exactly that. I got up. I actually started walking over to the computer. I sat down. I didn't let myself... I stopped myself right there. And I went in my music file, started playing K-pop. And I started cleaning. And I didn't rush through it, because I didn't want to feel like I was going to rush through it and then just hop on my game. I took my time with it, and I was just like, listen to K-pop, got energized, got hyped up, got, my life, the feeling of life back in me. You know what I'm saying? And, throughout the day, I was cleaning, and I was feeling good. And throughout that whole time, my mom kind of, I think, knew something was going on, because we had gone somewhere recently, and I was actually so not doing anything. I had grown like a scruffy looking beard, and wherever we went, my mom was like, she's like, so you growing a beard now, or you just didn't feel like shaving? And I was like, a little both. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she kind of started throwing hints out, like through text, because my mom does that. She just started throwing hints out, like, throughout that time. She's like, how you doing? How you feeling? So where, posting videos, what happened? And did your YouTube channel shut down? And I was like, no, Mom. I was like, I'm not feeling it right now. I was like, when I feel it, I'll start filming again. I was like, please don't, worry about it. Because my mom, that's why I didn't talk to my mom about it. Even though my mom would probably be a pro in this subject, because unfortunately, we lost my stepdad a while ago. So she's been, alone for the holidays, for a long time. But I couldn't bring myself to talk to her at that time. And so I was like, no, Mom, don't worry about, my YouTube. I was like, don't worry. I'm fine. And so after I cleaned that whole day, like I said, I was feeling back to being myself. I was being myself. Then I went and checked out my Twitter and stuff like that, my social networks, my YouTube. And I was seeing all the concern and the love from you guys, and it really started even bringing me more back. And I texted my mom, and I was like, I think I'm gonna start filming again tomorrow. And then I told her what was going on. I told her, I was like, it's just over the past few weeks or whatever, I was just not myself. I was, feeling lonely. And she's like, Nate, you got to realize, you're not alone. You have your family, but she's like, I know sometimes that's not enough, but she's like, you have so many people that, love you on YouTube, and you mean so much to them. And it really hit home, because when you love someone and how much you have that feeling of love for that person in you, and you always just wonder if they love you back, in the same amount or in the same way. Well, that's how I felt about you guys. You know what I'm saying? I have so much love for you guys. And, like I said, you lift me up through your YouTube comments, your Twitter comments, your Facebook comments. It's always uplifting. Even though through that 3 weeks I didn't look at that, I avoided it because for some reason I shut myself off with that stuff. But, I know how much I love you guys. And it didn't really click with me. Like, if you guys, even though you guys say that stuff to me, it's that same feeling. It's like, I know what I feel. I can't really, even though you guys are saying it, I don't know, it just didn't click until my mom said that. She's like, Nate, you have all those people that love you on YouTube. She's like, you make their day, and she's like, even though they're people you've never met, you got so much support around the world. And she's like, you should not feel down or feel alone ever. And it's true, I shouldn't be, but I was. But now I'm not. Like I said, I feel bad that I was, and I took that hiatus, because now it's like I'm totally out of it. But it's just like I still have to look back, and I still got to tell you what had gone on. But as far as people who deal with that loneliness, that was my story and how I went through it. As far as other people that deal with somewhat the same situation, I've found through the years, therapy is okay, but therapy isn't gonna fix you. The only person that can fix you is yourself. I've had people through the years, even on YouTube here, that have kind of talked to me and wanted, advice, and what I've told them about me, and like I just said here, there's just there's a day that clicks, and you're like, I can't fucking live like this anymore. And you've got to take that strength in that moment, because it's small. It's that fighting spirit, that real you inside you that's trying to break through. And you got to grab hold of that. And you got to grab hold of that. Even though it may be a small light at the end of that tunnel at first, you got to grab hold of that, and you got to fight with all that strength you have and that little bit of light. You got to fight to get out of it. And I've been able to do that, but that's the only true way out of depression, I feel. You know, I've dealt with it for all the years that I've dealt with it, and that's the only thing that's ever gotten me out of it, is that time, when that point in time that clicks, and I get that small glimmer of hope. I grab hold of it, and I use it to my advantage, and I just go forward, and I get out of it like I did with this. So I don't know if this helped or anything. I needed to tell you guys. I know I rambled. I don't have scripts. I don't write scripts. It just, when you read scripts, it seems fake sometimes. So I just turn the camera on and I talk. So it might have taken a long time, and I probably rambled quite a bit, but I apologize. But I just felt I needed to talk about it, not only to tell you guys where I've been, but also if there's other people out there going through this situation, I want them to know there's hope, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And you just gotta, when you have that moment of clarity, you gotta grab hold of it and not let go, and you need to go forward, and you'll eventually get out of it. So I love you guys, I really do, and thank you guys for everything. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everything, guys. Seriously, you guys are awesome. So I will talk to you guys later, and I'm gonna start on this big ass list of stuff I have to catch up on as far as videos. I'm actually gonna put a list on my Facebook. My Facebook's down in the description. I'll put a list of all the videos I'm going to do over the next couple days on Facebook, so you guys know, so you guys don't have to say, hey, do this video, it came out recently. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you all. Peace.